Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It's Sunday night. That means it's Moose Racing League night, MRL. And of course, my name is Andy Ragequit, and we will be heading off to Imola tonight for round number 9 of the Tier 2 Championship. Speaking of the Championship, before we take a look at the track and before we tune into a short qualifying session that's just underway, let's take a look at some of our standings. As you can see, we've got a championship battle on our hands. 2 rounds to go. It is a little bit nip and tuck, but things, of course, we know can happen. Major Castleman leads the way in the moment. In the Alpine on 121 points, 19 points clear of Freddie Rosell, who jumped up 2 positions last week, or 2 positions last week with his victory at Qatar. Sketchy Bull currently sits in 3rd place with Mintoki in 4th place. Alpine of Sketchy Bull, of course, and Alpine of Major Castleman. That means that in terms of the constructors, it's almost wrapped up. Alpine lead the way on 213 points, and it's 174 points to the Red Bulls, 39 points behind. They lost out last week, lost 2 points in Qatar, 33 points to Alpine, 31 points there to Red Bull, which helped Alpine extend their lead. Now we are heading off, of course, to Imola, so let's take a quick look at the track before we tune in. 4.9 kilometers, 3 miles, 19 turns. Now there are some of the most iconic turns here, of course, at Imola. Turn 1, which is pretty much non-existent, and then you've got 2, 3, and 4, which is, of course, the famous Tamburello. You then head to 5 and 6. It's Villeneuve. And then the hairpin, which is Toza. Top of the hill, we go up towards Piratella through 8 up to turn 9. And then, of course, it's all the way down from the top of the hill, which is Piratella, all the way down through Acqua Minerale. Once you've done Acqua Minerale, you then head back up towards the Alta chicane before, of course, heading all the way back down the hill to Ravazza. Turns Ravazza 1 and Ravazza 2, I guess we could call them. That is your lap. 1 DRS detection zone, incredibly powerful down towards Tamburello, but that is your track. And hey, do you know what? We don't have to do anything with the capture card this week. Let's have a quick look then to see who's out on track early doors on this session. We've got City of R out on a lap. He's the first car on a hot lap by the look of it. It would appear so. There is a Red Bull out on track. That's probably Freddie Rosell on his outlap. Yeah, there we go. So it's City of R. Actually, Major Castleman sets the first hot lap of the night. It's a 1:14.6, followed by a 1:15.3, Mr. Titan. So the championship leader, currently on provisional pole as we watch City of R through Alta. And then, of course, like I said, it's all the way down the hill then, down towards Ravazza 1 and 2. The final 2 corners of this 19-turn track. Plenty of places where you can invalidate on this track. So I'm looking to see who can handle this track. DRS then wide open. And Mr. City of R does indeed go 2/10 quicker than Major Castleman. He is currently on a pole lap. Championship challenger then, Freddie Rosell in the Red Bull, about to make the climb up the hill towards Piratella. Through turn 8 there, up towards turn 9, one of the places that you can invalidate, but he does well. Then it's down the hill This is Aqua Minerale that we spoke about before. You can take plenty of curb, and he's invalidated it. He's invalidated it. Fatweed had gone a 15 flat, so he's the next one. Black Baller, a gentleman who's not had an ounce of luck this season. We're in round 9, of course. 2 rounds remaining, this and the 10th round, where I can't remember where we are. But Black Baller really has struggled in terms of luck here. He's going to head down towards Villeneuve then. Turn 6 and 7. Plenty of curb on both the insides of those. And then, of course, the rumble strip down to Tozer. Purple first sector with a 24. It's then up the hill. Up the hill through turn number 8. Again, a turn that doesn't really exist. Plenty of grip on these soft tyres. Then for the V-carb, clips the inside at the entry to Aqua Minerale, and then plenty of curb on the exit as well. How's he going to tackle this chicane? Plenty of curb, feathering the throttle on the outside, then some ERS down the hill then. Back down towards ERS. Back down towards Rivazza we go with the hot lap engaged. Plenty of curb can be taken on both of these. And just a slight move onto the rumble strip on the exit. This looks like it's going to be in the 16s. So 16.4 for Black Baller. Who else we got on lap? Gwenfro. Gwenfro just going through Villeneuve. Plenty of rumble strip on the outside. Then, of course, into Tozer. Tricky little curb. Gets a little bit out of shape there, does Gwenfro. Hot lapping it all the way up through 8 into 9. In 6th gear. Down into 3rd, and then full throttle up the hill with some battery as well to get himself plenty of time back. 50 flat sideways into Alta as Freddie Rozelle, after that problem he had on his last lap, does indeed take pole by 500ths of a second from City of R with a 14.3. This is the first run, of course, and we know that track evolution does play a big part on this game, just about keeping it valid. There is Gwenfro, the race down to the line now. What can he do? Deploy used, though. Only fourth fastest at a 14.9. Sketchy Ball, one of our Alpine. Currently sat 3rd in the championship. We're looking for something around the 50 mark. It's a 49.7. Good lap this then from Sketchy. Is he going to get a little mini toe here? He's not. Car just staying to the inside. Tiny little bit deep. Will have lost a little bit of time there. You can afford to take plenty of curb on the inside of Rivazza 1. Down towards the line we go. It is the 14s. It's a 14.6. The 2 Alpines then flying in formation, splitting the 2 Mercedes. As it happens, Fake Mano, who had some pace last week, 49.5. So he's a couple of tenths quicker than Sketchy through that first couple of sectors. Can he make that work? Can he get himself up into the 14.4s? No, he lost a little bit of time there compared to Sketchy. But does go up into P5. 400s quicker than Gwenfro. Only a couple of hundreds. Nearly 300s. Separating the 2 Alpines. But Freddie Rozelle clear at this moment in time. KDM, so Freddie Rozelle's teammate. What's he going to do? 24.1 through Sector 1. And he's invalidated. So that's him done. He'll be building his battery back up now, and of course you can see the little red flashing icon, so he'll dip back into the pits. 9.5 minutes left of this short qualification session then. 6 of you guys tuning in right now. Let's hear it from you. Where are you watching from tonight? Where's your favourite track? Is it Imola? What's your favourite track? Sketchy, Fake Mano, Gwenfro. Gwenfro's gone for another run. He's a 10th quicker, Gwenfro. And he saved himself a little bit more battery this time as well as he heads through Piratella. He's got 10% more battery than he had through Piratella last time. Up through Aqua Minerale. Nice. That seems smooth from the Mercedes man. He's lost a little bit of time, actually, to be fair. He's almost a 10th quicker. Will Gwenfro continue this lap or will he bail on it? Utilising some battery down towards Rivazza. Oh, we had a screen freeze there. We had a screen freeze. Yeah, I thought he might get there into the pits. J-Joe in the Haas starting his first hot lap tonight. So where are you watching from tonight, guys? Invalidation there from J-Joe. Big mistake down at Tamburello. So he'll have to go again. Mr. Titan's on his next run, is he? Oh, almost half a second up for Mr. Titan. That would get him up into the top 6 at the minute. So can he string together a good final sector? That's the question. Keeps it valid through Ravazza. And on the exit, utilising that battery now all the way down to the line. And does go half a second quicker up into P5. Major Castleman now on his next run. 7.5 minutes left of this session. Over a tenth quicker on the first sector. So looking good for the Alpine Championship leader. That's how they get the turn in, get the nose pointed down the hill. Aqua Minerale seems to be quite smooth through there. That's one of the places you can invalidate quite badly through there. Purple sector 2. So 49.5. A couple of tenths up. This would put him, if he can string in at a good third sector, this would put him up towards Freddie Rozelle, who currently resides in that provisional pole. Now, I think we saw Freddie there, about to start his next lap. Can Major Castleman throw down the gauntlet? He can indeed throw down the gauntlet. Goes 3 tenths quicker. Let's tune in with Freddie then, because Freddie's about to make his run now. Exchanging quickest laps then. The Alpine and the Red Bull, the two championship contenders. Sketchy Bull in with a shout if these two do come into some form of contact in the early exchanges at Imola. Here comes Freddie then. Purple sector 1. Up to Piratella. Plenty of curb on the entry and exit of Aqua Minerale. And it's a 49.1, so this looks quick. Just about manages to keep it valid through the Alta chicane. And now it's down the hill. Downhill all the way. So that was a 49.1. I'm expecting something around the 14 flats. We might even see Freddie dip into the 13s here in this Red Bull. And we do see him more than dip into the 13s. But he'd invalidated. He'd invalidated. Absolute scenes at Imola. Freddie Rozelle in the Red Bull had put together a great lap, but has managed to invalidate coming out of Ravazza. So here comes KDM to throw down his first lap. And that's a 15.8. Now we've got Sketchy Bull about to start his next lap. The car of KDM just trying to get out of the way there of a chasing Mercedes and a V-Carb that are on their way around. And yeah, Sketchy Bull's invalidated. He's the next one to make the mistake. Looks like a good lap was put down there by Fake Mano, bringing the pace from last week into round 9 tonight. Up into P3 with a 14.3. That Fatweed then. Fatweed looks like he's on his next run. No, he's invalidated as well. Black Baller's on a run. 4 tenths better off for the V-Card man. As he goes around Toza. And now it's the big climb up the hill towards the highest point of this track at Piratella. We do have some yellow flags waving in Sector 2. I think it's just the McLaren of Fatweed getting out of the way. And now it's all downhill through Aqua Minerale before you climb all the way back up. And then that short straight through the Sector 2 marker to the Alta chicane. And yeah, he's taken his foot off the gas, obviously on an outlap there without me realising. Gwenfro's invalidated as well. So at this present moment in time, I don't think Black Baller's running a lap. Black Baller will be starting the next hot lap, unless Gwenfro's just started one. No. So it would be Black Baller. No, Black Baller dips into the pit lane. So only Gwenfro out on track, and Gwenfro may well make a run here. Yeah, here goes Gwenfro. Let's jump on board with the Mercedes, man. Sketchy hates Imola. Facts. It's not my favourite track, Sketchy, I have to say. There's far too many opportunities to invalidate around this track. Here's one on the exit from Tamburello. Down the hill we go then towards Villeneuve. Villeneuve over the plenty of curb on the inside, but invalidates on the exit of Villeneuve. And that will mean that we will tune in with City of R, who's now the only car out on track on an outlap. Getting himself ready, getting those tyres warmed up. Everybody on the soft tyres, of course. 2 and a little bit, just over 2.5 minutes left of this qualification session. And then it will be all hands to the pumps and all feet to the pedals as we set off for that final shootout across this 2.5 minutes. Guys coming out of the pits right now, getting ready. Can City of R put down another quick lap? He is about to go, and here we go then. Using plenty of battery, down to 65%, and then retaining the hot lap. Through turn 1, virtually non-existent turn 1, then it's turns 2, 3, and 4, Tamburello. How's he going to handle that? Pretty well, the Mercedes. Got half a second to find. What's his first split going to be? We're about to find out. 4 tenths up. So that's him, provisional pole, if he can string together a decent rest of this lap. 1.5 minutes remaining then. Down through Aqua Minerale. Choosing not to take any curb on the entry to Aqua Minerale. But plenty out. Down towards Alta. What's the times? Lost a little bit of time there. Still 3.5 tenths to the good though. Through the Alta chicane. Didn't seem to get too much out of shape there, which was good. And City of R goes into P2. So lost some time there. Now then, who can we jump on with next? Who's on a lap? I've got a massive horsefly in my house, which is causing me immediate concern because it wants to bite me. So bear with me. Where's Freddie? Freddie's done, I think. Yeah, Freddie will be done. Won't get another lap in. Fake Mano won't get another lap in either. We caught him just in time. He is out. Out at Tamburello on the exit. So the best he's going to do is fourth. Here's Sketchy. Showing a purple sector 2. Can he best his teammate, Major Castleman? On this, the penultimate round. Major Castleman stuck on 14 flat. It's a 14.4. He does go a little bit quicker, but it's only P5. Gwenfro next across the line. No, he's going to be done. Fatweed, here comes Fatweed. He's too slow as well. He will go through the start-finish line. J-Joe not posted a time yet. And he won't be quick enough either. Sharky. Game crashed. Invite, please, if you get a chance. Give me a second. Sharky, are you on Xbox? Oh, that is a killer. I'll have to try and do it, mate, when you're in. I'm so sorry. Here we go then. Major Castleman will take pole. It'll be City of R, Freddie Rozelle, and Fake Mano occupying the other spots on the front two rows. Sketchy Bull and Mr. Titan. Then Gwenfro, Fatweed, J-Joe, Blackballer, KDM, Sharky, and Happy. Only 13 runners tonight. Only 13 runners tonight. As soon as this gets done, mate, I'll give you an invite. I just hope you can take control of the car, buddy. We know that this is one of those awful glitches. Come on. See if we can find Land Sharky. These invite systems are awful. There you go, bud. Right then, so we've got a little bit of cloud now. You're in. Okay, cool. We do have a little bit of cloud in the background. So the bright blue skies from qualification have been replaced with a little bit of a covering of cloud. Not slate grey cloud, so it doesn't look like any early rain, but we may well see some weather descending on us here at Imola over the course of these, I think it's 36 laps. We're about to find out. But the lights are going on. And now they're out, which of course means it is showtime here at Moose Racing League in tier number 2. Major Castleman is indeed in the lead of this race, but Freddie Rozelle's jumped up into P2. Are we all through? Are we all through safely? I think we're all through pretty safely. Everybody through Tamburello safely, down towards Villeneuve for the first time. It's Major Castleman leading the way from Freddie Rozelle. City of R followed closely by Fake Mano. Then it's Sketchy Bull in P5. Mr. Titan P6. Gwenfro in P7. McLaren's Fatweed P8. P9 it's J-Joe. KDM P10. Happy Like Pies in P11. Blackballer P12. And then Sharky P13. Excuse me. Let's get the tyres on. See what tyre people have chosen. So everybody but Blackballer on the medium tyre then for this race. Any position changes? Not many position changes. Up one for Freddie, down one for City of R. Up two for Happy, down two for Blackballer. As we come to the end of lap number 1, then it'll be Major Castleman who crosses the line in P1 to be leading this race at the end of lap 1. DRS is enabled now after the first lap. It doesn't actually come into play until the next lap, though, because only one DRS zone, and the detection point is actually... the detection point and the activation point are both before the start-finish line. So, in theory, it is activated on lap 2, but you will get the benefit on lap 3. It's a double dose of DRS, of course. A single dose of DRS. Begging one's pardon. Single dose of DRS. Happy Like Pie is now up 3. J-Joe lost 4 positions. So J-Joe's had himself a moment there on this lap. Let's just double check in with him. Make sure there's no damage. There is damage. Damage to the Haas. There are no end plates on that front wing, and he will need those end plates. So I would imagine that J-Joe will navigate his way back to the pit lane and get a fresh wing on. because you need that downforce. If you don't have downforce here, you will suffer from track penalties. So J-Joe will come into the pits. Now we're going to see how powerful this DRS is. See there, Major Castleman moving across to the inside, or the outside of turn 1, all the way down then, loses P1, and the DRS train covers the top 5, speeding in the pit lane from J-Joe as well. And he's retired from the session, J-Joe. He's given it, I don't know, he's quit. J-Joe, come on. Up the hill towards Piratella then for lap number 3. Through turn 8, up towards turn 9. This is a place where you can pick up those track limit warnings and therefore penalties. City of R just struggling here to keep himself in that DRS zone. Can he get back into DRS? It looks like a slight concern for him now, because that means he'll come under immense amounts of pressure from Fake Mano, Sketchy Bull, Mr. Titan, Gwenfro, and Fatweed. KDM now 2 seconds off the back of the McLaren of Fatweed. Can Citivar get himself into that DRS? No, the detection point has, of course, gone. So he will now come under pressure. Let's take a look on board with Fake Mano. 5/10 may well be enough for him. You'll see the Mercedes hugging the inside here of turn 1. Is he going to take a defensive line? Down the inside, big send here, and that moves. That looked a little bit contentious between the two, and you can see from the rear wing of Fake Mano all kinds of chaos behind. Was that a push to pass on City of R? All I do know is that that gap now between P3 and P2 is 2.5 seconds. That's allowed the 2 championship leaders to race away from this chasing pack. 2.5 seconds, and Sketchy picks up the first of our track limit penalties. 3 seconds go to the Alpine for his interpretation of track limits not matching that of the director, and that will put him under some pressure. He'll have to get out in front of some of these guys and begin to gap him if he's going to get himself up on the podium tonight. But as it currently stands, Major Castleman and Freddie Rizal then coming to the end of lap 4. And again, we'll just jump on with Freddie. The gap 6/10 then. DRS and hot lap in play. We'll see Freddie just nice relaxed bit from Freddie there. Sketchy Bull actually goes through. This is all kinds of chaos happening behind. So Sketchy Bull gets himself through, followed by City of R and Fake Mano. So Sketchy Bull up a couple of positions there. Side by side, we've got Gwenfro and Mr. Titan, and also the McLaren of Fatweed. So Gwenfro and Fatweed battling it out then as they exit Toza up the hill towards Piratella for the 5th time. Fatweed off track there. So may well have been a warning for the McLaren man. And I would say probably 5/10 when we get down to the detection point and obviously round Rivazza into the straight. Side by side through the chicane. It's Mr. Titan and Fatweed. Gwenfro goes through as well, as does Happy. Fatweed losing multiple positions there as they come together, going side by side through the chicane at Alta. Not the best decision. I don't know who should have backed out of that one there, as we see KDM's rear just losing a little bit. But lots of tussling for position here. The fight for P6 and P5 and P6 is pretty special right now. There's a couple of guys who've dropped out of DRS and are coming under pressure then through Tamburello. We are going to see the Mercedes of Gwenfro go down the inside of Mr. Titan into Villeneuve. Happy with the 1.5 second gap now as he races up the hill. 1.5 second gap to Fake Mano, who's managed to keep in touch with City of R. City of R on the back of Sketchy Bull. 3.7 seconds the gap between Sketchy and Freddie Rizal. 15 of you guys tuning in right now. Thank you so much for joining us here at Moose Racing League as we tackle round number 9 in Tier 2 at Imola. It's been an interesting first 6 lap of this race. We talked about the gap for a potential overtake being around about 5/10. Freddie's got it down to 4. Now it's 5/10. So we'll see what DRS does. He's got the hot lap initiated, as does Major Castleman. And it looks like 5/10 was the right kind of gap because he's going to get the job done around the outside down towards Tamburello then. Sketchy Bull loses a position. Of course, he didn't have DRS. But Freddie Rizal takes up the lead of this race on lap 7 of 32 here at Imola. Major Castleman, of course, in P2. Going to follow him into Alta. As they grow the gap back to P3's City of R in the Mercedes. Up to 3.7 seconds, down to gear 5. Plenty of battery left in the Alpine. And plenty of battery left, of course, in the Red Bull as well. Be interesting to see how many track limit warnings people have had. And just as we mentioned, track limit warnings, Fatweed picks up the second penalty for track limit warnings. Joining Sketchy Bull with 3 seconds. Gwenfro looks like he's going to challenge Fatweed on the inside here. Thinks better of it and just pulls in behind the McLaren. Ooh, as the rear end of that McLaren gets ever so slightly sideways, and that will put Fatweed under some pressure from Gwenfro. Then Gwenfro will have DRS, Fatweed will not. Down we go then. Oh, there's also going to be a kick Sauber. Where's the kick Sauber come from? That was Mr. Titan coming from a long way back with the overspeed and DRS. Getting the job done. A double move from the kick Sauber. Super stuff. Nice and clean as well, it appeared to be, which was nice. If you are tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, let me know where you're tuning in from, as Major Castleman picks up a 3-second penalty. So let's just check in then with our leaders as they've navigated Aqua Minerale down towards the outer chicane for lap 8 of 32. And Freddie Rizal, no penalty for the Red Bull, 3 seconds for Major Castleman for the championship leader. As it currently stands, this would of course mean, let's just have a quick check on the fastest lap of the race. Currently sits with Freddie as well. So, as it stands, Freddie Rizal would eke into the lead from Major Castleman. We know that Freddie is going to come under pressure down towards turn 1 here. I think Major Castleman will probably think better of it. Yes, he does. Got to keep it clean now if you're Freddie. Freddie keeps it clean now, which Sketchy Bull has not. Sketchy picks up another penalty. That'll be 6 seconds for him, 3 seconds for Major Castleman, and 3 for Fatweed. Snipped. Tuning in from Canada. Very nice, sir. Very nice. Bet it's a bit cold up there right now. Whereabouts in Canada are you? Sketchy Bull on the chase then with Happy Like Pies behind. Fake Mano in front, and then City of R in that Mercedes we can see just exiting Aqua Minerale right now. Happy Like Pies might get some kind of incentive here. Sharky's the next driver to pick up 3 seconds then. Sharky just coming, he would have picked that up through Aqua Minerale. And Fatweed, another penalty for Fatweed. The penalties are beginning to rack up. Close to Ottawa, very nice. Bit chilly? I imagine it's quite cold. Right, let's, we're on with Sketchy Bull then, as Freddie Rizal and Major Castleman exchange positions once more. Down towards Tamburello, that's where they'll get to. Not much of an impact for Sketchy Bull. But Fake Mano does get past the Mercedes and City of R. Approaching third race distance. Happy Like Pie sticking to the rear wing of Sketchy Bull like glue. Again, Sketchy a little tiny bit out of shape as he exits Toza up the hill towards Piratella. And that ever-increasing gap is now 5.5 seconds between P2 and P3. -11, not too bad. Good lord. Is that Fahrenheit or Celsius, sir? Not too bad. You're making me cold thinking about it. KDM picks up a 3-second penalty as well for his interpretation of track limits. So we're down to 12 drivers then. So not a great deal of drivers in tonight for this, the penultimate round of the Tier 2 Championship. But the two championship leaders are hashing it out at the front as Gwenfro becomes, the 6th driver to pick up time penalties for track limits. Currently sat in P8. That takes the pressure off Mr. Titan ever so slightly. Even though Gwenfro does get past Mr. Titan down towards Tamburello. Black Baller still hashing it out on those hard tyres. Doing a good job. He will be under immense amounts of pressure though. And it looks like KDM might make a move on the inside at Villeneuve. And he does. Gets the job done. Nicely done there by the Red Bull. Will Sharky get involved in this tussle as well? He is involved. Only 3/10 back. How long are these medium tyres going to last? When will we see our first call? And Freddie Rozelle has made a mistake. Fatweed picks up yet more penalties. Freddie Rozelle's made a mistake because that gap was under 1 second and now it's 2.9. So a mistake from Freddie Rozelle. That'll give encouragement to Major Castleman. Major Castleman with the 3-second penalty. The championship leader. Freddie Rozelle's opportunity was to stick with the Alpine and get himself into a position where that was... that 3-second penalty would have played into his hands. It still does, of course, because it's a 2.8-second gap with a 3-second penalty. So still plays into the hands of the Red Bull, but now he's going to be under pressure not to make another mistake. Fake Mano and Sketchy Bull getting past City of R then down towards Tamburello, down towards turn 3 and 4. Turns 2, 3 and 4, should I say. Are we going to see more tussles? There's eagerness in this grid tonight to make moves. We always see plenty of moves made at Imola, but generally it's down to Black 1, as we've actually got two guys in the wall. Black Baller, two guys in the pits, Mr. Titan and Fatweed. But Black Baller found himself off track there at Tamburello, got into it. Let's just see if there's any damage on anybody. Sharky seems to have gone up the grid quite a lot. Black Baller's off again. Black Baller off again. Let's just keep tuned in then. We seem to have an issue with Black Baller. Still yellow flags waving then, of course, here in Sector 2. And into the pit lane comes a few of our drivers then. Freddie Rozelle in. Major Castleman reacting as well. He's in. Fake Mano and Sketchy Bull now... Well, Sketchy Bull leads the race. Still yellow flags in Sector 2. It's Black Baller again. Black Baller is stopped on track. I don't know whether Black Baller's having himself some connection problems here. But certainly as he manoeuvres his way very slowly through Aqua Minerale, he got himself a problem. So the top 5 then. Sharky 10 seconds off the back of this leading group of 4 cars. Black Baller, 10-second penalty, goes straight through the chicane. I would imagine that'll be it for Black Baller. He will call it quits. Sketchable leading the way then. Half a second up from Fake Mano as they go through the Alta chicane on this, the 13th time. Let's hope it's not unlucky for some. And Black Baller does indeed call it a day in the pit lane. Unfortunate again. We talked about Black Baller and the amount of luck he's had this year, and that is symptomatic of the first 8 rounds that he's participated in. Into the pits comes Sketchy, followed by City of R and Happy. Fake Mano stays out then. So will the undercut work wonders for Sketchy, City of R and Happy then, as they still will be tussling for P5? Sharky going to come in? No, Sharky continues as well. And it will be Major Castleman who will take up the lead of this race. The net lead of this race, of course, with Fake Mano and Sharky deciding to stay out on the medium tyre. Look at this. Look at Fatweed. Oh, Fatweed tapped from the behind by Mr. Titan. And Major Castleman picks up 3 seconds. That's huge. Both for the win and for the championship. So Major Castleman. That is a 6-second penalty now for Major Castleman. Freddie Rozelle now. The net lead. With the 2 cars out in front, Fake Mano and Sharky yet to pit. Major Castleman 6-second penalties and Freddie Rozelle only 1.7 seconds deficit behind. Sketchy Bull also with 6 seconds as he navigates through the outer chicane on his fresh hard rubber. City of R will jump up at least 1 position. Obviously the gap between Sketchy and Freddie is 8 seconds, so that'll be detrimental to him at the start of the race. And actually Sharky dives into the pits to get rid. Fake Mano also getting rid of those tyres. Let's see where Fake Mano and Sharky come out then. I would expect Sharky to come out a bit further down. Fake Mano just losing at least 2 positions, possibly 3. Yeah, 3 positions as Fake loses out to Happy Like Pies as well. Sketchy picks up another 3 seconds. Penalties are going to play a huge part in this race tonight to see who picks up the points. As it currently stands, Freddie Rozelle will pick up a nice chunk of points. We're just approaching half race distance then. So encouragement to both Freddie Rozelle and City of R, Happy Like Pies and Fake Mano. Another 3 seconds. Let's keep this penalties up. 3 seconds more to Fatweed. That's 12 for the McLaren. Huge amount of points. Sketchy on 9. 6 each for Sharky and KDM. 6 for Major Castleman. 3 to Gwenfro. So Gwenfro will be feeling relatively good with only 3 seconds. As Fake Mano is the next one to pick up a penalty. 3 seconds to him in the RB. Where was he picking up that? Oh, coming through Ravazza. That's where he's picked that up, coming through Ravazza. Just about to get to half race distance then on this, the 16th of 22. Fatweed utilising that DRS to get in front of Gwenfro down towards Tamburello. City of R in P4. Sat cozy at the moment. Happy Like Pies also. So those 3 guys will be relatively pleased with the lack of penalties that they've received so far. Mr. Titan's connection died. Do you need an invite, sir, if I've got you? And are you on PC or are you on Xbox? What are you on, Mr. Titan? Right, let's see if we can find you then, my friend. Recently played with. No. Let's see if I've got you added. Of course not. Doesn't look like I've got you, my friend. Unless you're showing us offline. Give me a second. I'm sure I've got you added, but you know what these systems are like. The systems are so broke, man. See if you can add me on. See if you can add me on Xbox. Titan. if you can have me on Xbox, mate, it's that one. 3 more seconds for Fatweed, up to 15. Let me know where you've sent it, bud. I'll go and look for it. A lack of battery for Happy Like Pies. City of R now dropped off the back of Sketchy Bull as well. And Fatweed has called it a night in the pit lane. He is done. Retires the McLaren. There you go, bud. It's okay, Jordan. We've sorted it, mate. Thank you. Right then, where were we? We're down to 10 cars, guys. We're down to 10 cars. So, Mr. Titan, when you get back in, you will have an opportunity. Obviously, you've got no penalties. You'll have an opportunity to try and get yourself back up. Hopefully, you can take control of the car. That would be good. Sharky picks up another 3 seconds. Obviously, you're a little bit slow at the minute because you're under AI, and KDM is all over the rear. He's going to try and go side by side through the chicane. He's later on the brakes, and he's going to be able to get the job done. So hopefully you can take control of that car, Titan. Freddie Rizal, meanwhile, still penaltyless. 1.5 seconds off the back of Major Castleman. 19 of 32 when it comes to laps. 9.4 seconds off the back then is Sketchy Bull. And he will lose multiple positions at the end of this race because City of R and Happy are just about getting ready to enter DRS. DRS already, of course, for Happy and Fake Mano off the back of City of R. But City of R looking to climb the hill up towards Piratella to make sure that he can get into some form of DRS zone. 9 seconds of penalties now for KDM as well. He's obviously picked that up. And we've got somebody's gone off. Is it Sharky? Sharky's gone off. Sharky off at Villeneuve then. So Sharky drops back to P10. Mr. Titan moves up into P9. KDM up into P8. But plenty of time gaps between KDM and Gwenfro. It's 18 seconds. Plus he's got an extra 6 seconds of penalties. So Gwenfro, lonely race for him at the moment. But plenty of time. 12, 13 laps left of this Imola Grand Prix. Fake Mano, 3 seconds of penalties, but hugging the back of the Kick Sauber of Happy Like Pies. Happy Like Pies does have DRS where City of R does not. The gap might just be a little bit too big. Right now, we'll have to wait to the next passing opportunity. City of R didn't manage to get up into that DRS of Sketchy Bull, but the gap now between Sketchy and Freddy, 9.7 seconds. So the front two, the championship leaders, the championship contenders. Hey, no worries, Jordan. Mr. Titan now, he's back behind the wheel. Oh, contact between the Kick Sauber and KDM in the Red Bull. Yellow flags waving Sector 1 then, as Mr. Titan and KDM go through. Major Castleman picks up another 3 seconds out in front. Now then, City of R, the gap, of course, is 12 seconds. City of R would have to pull another 3.6 seconds to jump both Sketchy Bull and Major Castleman. It's a possibility. Never put it past somebody. Accidents can happen. Problems can occur. Freddie Rizal's 2 seconds off the back now of the Alpine, though. Hey, game's now uninstalled, says Fatweed. Fatweed's had enough. I take it you're not available for next week then, Fatweed, mate. Seems like Imola may well be broken in terms of track limits. Sketchy doing a good job here. City of R has joined him now and will be in DRS next time round, if he wasn't already. City of R's got Happy Like Pies and Fake Mano for company, though. Piratella then for the 21st time for this chasing pack. Can they eke out a couple more performances? Hell no, says Fatweed. No availability for the final week for him. Sitchivar's dropped back out of that DRS. 1.1 seconds. Needs to... Oh, gets out of shape. That'll cost him a bit of time. But it looks like... Sorry, Sitchivar. A little bit out of shape, but he does burn some battery to get himself back into... He's probably just about managed to get in DRS there. No, he hasn't. There will be no DRS, and Happy Like Pies will be on the chase then, down towards Tamburello, and it looks like he'll get the job done with ease there as he passes the Mercedes. Can Fake Mano make a move as well? No, Fake Mano stays in P6. But Happy Like Pies on the charge. Looking to try and close this gap to Sketchy Bull. Oh, out of shape through Villeneuve. Has a moment to himself. Sharky just getting past KDM. Oh, contact between the two, though. And KDM's in the gravel. Did Sharky move over too far there? Sharky may have moved over too far, and KDM moves right down to the back of this grid. Mr. Titan goes back into P9. Let's get back out into where the action is then. I know we've seen just seen some action, but that was it was either a very optimistic move from KDM around the outside in the first part of Tamburello in turns 2 to get alongside in to be inside then in turn 3. As Happy Like Pies then does indeed, with the help of DRS, get himself up into P3. Sketchy may well come under pressure as well from Sitchivar, and he does side by side through Tamburello. But they do go side by side. Dude comes out the winner in that little exchange. It's Sitchivar. Sitchivar up into P4. Sketchy Bull and Fake Mano close contact between the two. They'll be side by side up into Toza. But Sketchy stays up in P5. Sitchivar and Happy Like Pies then take up the mantle of trying to chase down these front two. 10.4 seconds now off the back of the leading two. 2.5 seconds the gap between Freddie Rozelle and Major Castleman. Major Castleman out in the lead, just about to head down towards Ravazza. For this, the 23rd time out of 32. KDM's in the pits. Obviously had a problem there, but he will get lapped now by the two lead cars. He should come out just in front of this chasing group. You didn't quite see them in the distance. So Happy Like Pies, 10.4 seconds then. He's got Sitchivar for company. Sitchivar doesn't look like he's going to be close enough to make a move down into Tamburello. No, he doesn't. Like we've said, turns 2, 3, and 4. Kick Sauber, Mercedes, Alpine, and V-Carb tussling it out here for that final step of the podium. Sketchy Bull and Fake Mano hampered by track limit penalties and by, of course, their current track position in P5 and 6. So Happy Like Pies and Sitchivar look like they're the two cars to tussle it out for the third step on the podium. Can they close down? Can they close down the gap to the leader? 13.4 seconds. So Happy Like Pies would need a considerable amount of time. He'd have to make up 4.5 seconds. And it would be very difficult, of course, because he's going to be fighting with Sitchivar and getting out of shape on the exit of Alta down towards Ravazza. Will that give Sitchivar an opportunity to not just go through the detection point, but make a move on the inside at Ravazza? No, he doesn't. He stays back. All of them stay in formation as they go through Ravazza's 1 and 2. And that'll be City of R. Looks like Sketchy's going to get the move done as well. Yeah, good racing that from Sketchy and Happy Like Pies. And is Fake Mano going to get the move done? He is, yeah. Fake Mano gets it done down into Villeneuve. And Fake Mano just cuts the corner ever so slightly, picks himself up another warning, and that's now 6 seconds for the V-Carb. So Happy Like Pies is still sat technically in P4. And that gap between City of R and Major Castleman growing. It's now 13.6 seconds up from 13.4 a couple of laps ago. So the opportunity to try and get himself up into P2 with the track limit penalties that Major Castleman has. Fast diminishing then as the laps are running out here at Imola. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, this is Moose Racing League MRL Formula 1 Tier 2, Round 9 in Italy at the world-famous Imola circuit. Some of the most iconic corners, of course, on the track, on the circuit, beg your pardon. And this time we'll jump on with Sketchy. Sketchy's 7/10 back might not be close enough. Medium battery usage, DRS wing wide open. He'll be way too far back to make a move on City of R. And City of R looks like he's going to pull away in this tussle with Happy Like Pies for that final step on the podium. Plenty of laps left to go, though. Happy Like Pie is really struggling to maintain himself here in this tussle. The gap now 8/10 to Fake Mano. He will, of course, pick up those two positions, P4 and 5, from Sketchy and Fake Mano. So the leaders start lap 27 then, which gives us 6 laps of racing to go. Is Happy going to be close enough to kind of reduce that gap down to City of R? He is in DRS. He's managed to fight back into DRS, but the cars in front, of course, much, much closer. So he's got a front row seat. Should anything happen between those front, that 3 of the chasing pack, City, Sketchy, and Fake Mano. And there is something that happens here. Sketchy Bull goes off track. A mistake from the Alpine has allowed the Kick Sauber up into P5. Fake Mano, though, is now over a second behind City of R. So he'll come under pressure from Happy Like Pies. He's managed to get himself back, eked it back, but has gone off track and will pick up a warning there. So 6 seconds. He picked up a track limit penalties a couple of laps ago. So may well be in line for another track limit penalty, which will keep Sketchy Bull happy because that would mean he'll be able to tussle with him as well. Fake Mano has managed to get back under the 1 second mark. City of R has managed to get under 10 seconds to Freddie Rizal as well, so that's good for Freddie. Good for City of R. Sharky, another limit penalty. That's 12 seconds for him. Fake Mano's going to be too far back. Let's have a quick look from his rear wing, though, because here comes a Kick Sauber at ever-increasing pace. Not going to be close enough to make a move. I wouldn't have thought down to Tamburello. Turns 2, 3, and 4. No. 5/10 off the back of City of R now. Managed to get that gap down from 8/10 to 5/10. And Sketchy picks up more time, so that's nullified his charge to try and catch up with Fake Mano and hope that Fake Mano picks up more penalties. You'll note that Gwenfro now only 9 seconds, only 6.4 seconds behind Sketchy Bull, and Sketchy Bull's penalties mean that Gwenfro will now jump up into P6. Mr. Titan will jump up into P8. Let's have a quick look at that time. Yeah, it's just City of R isn't closing in on Major Castleman. Freddie Rizal is dropping back. So City of R won't be able to jump up into P2, but currently as it stands will be P3. Let's have a quick look here at Fake Mano, because on his left-hand side goes the Kick Sauber. Happy Like Pies out into P4. That's going to enable him. The tussle, the fight for that final step on the podium is still very much alive then, as City of R dropping a little bit of time there. Happy Like Pies will be fighting for that third step on the podium. as it currently stands. Plenty of penalties up and down the grid. You'll see 3 drivers on 12. Fatweed called it a day in the pits on 15. A few laps ago. 9 seconds to the leader. Major Castleman pull out enough of a gap. Freddie is beginning to drop quite a lot. So can Freddie... I think that's probably 2 warnings for Fake Mano, by the way. He can't afford another one, I don't think. So the gap, 4.8 seconds between Freddie and Major Castleman. Can Major Castleman pull enough time out over the last couple of laps? Freddie's been doing a little bit of battery harvesting, so possibly not. City of R a little bit too far in front of Happy Like Pies here on lap 30 of 32. And Happy Like Pies is probably content sitting in P4, certainly for laps 30, 31. This is the tussle then. Mercedes and Kick Sauber for the final step on the podium. Our leaders are not too far from starting the penultimate lap as Freddie just goes through the outer chicane right now. KDM, next driver to pick up a warning or a penalty. Multiple warnings. But this is where the battle's going to be on that final lap. We're going to see City of Art and Happy Like Pies fight it out. And City only 4 tenths clear now as they swing round the final corner, the final part of Ravazza. Will Happy Like Pies make the move now, or will he wait? The penultimate lap has been started. Slightly defensive line from the Mercedes. He'll stay behind. The Kick Sauber will stay behind until the final lap. It's a sensible play from Happy Like Pies. He doesn't want to get out in front and therefore be under pressure on that final lap with DRS down that long straight towards Tamburello. The gap out in front, 5.1 seconds. So as much as Major Castleman is eking that time out, it won't be enough to maintain the lead of the race. He won't pull out a 9-second gap on Freddie unless Freddie makes a mistake, as he did a few laps ago. Look how close these guys are, though, through Aqua Minerale. Sketchy Bull right on the rear end here. Having a quick look on the inside at the Alta chicane. Front row seat then, Sketchy Bull. On this battle between the 3 in front, City of Our, Happy Like Pies and Fate Manor. We started the final lap. We have started the final lap, and it'll be Major Castleman starting that final lap in the lead of this race. But let's have a quick look on here. Looks like Happy might well be too far back, you know. No, he's not too far back. He's going to make a big send round the outside of Tamburello. Gets the job done early as well. Before the turn-in. Good stuff. As we said, keeping it all the way to that final lap. Lap 32. We'll stay on this rear wing view to see if City of R can get enough grip, enough traction to make a move. Fake Mano and Sketchy still tussling it out. They do have penalties though, so aren't involved in this fight for the podium. Down towards Aqua Minerale we go for the final time. Tight left up the hill. Can City of R get enough grip up towards the outer chicane, or is he going to try and send it at Ravazza? Let's just tune in with Major Castleman, though. Major Castleman just about getting through Ravazza. He'll cross the line in P1, but it'll be Freddie Rozelle who crosses the line and eventually wins this, the Imola Grand Prix. There he is. He jumps up. It's going to be Happy Like Pies who will hold on to P3. He does. Happy Like Pies. Happy Like Pies picks up a penalty. Happy Like Pies picks up a penalty at Ravazza. 3 seconds, which drops him. City of R does claim the final step on the podium. Happy Like Pie's a big mistake coming out of Rivazza, picks up the 3-second penalty, which means the Mercedes claims the third spot. Happy Like Pie's P4, Fake Mano P5, P6 it'll be Sketchy, and he managed to do enough. Gwenfro must have picked up another penalty as well, because he remains in P7. Mr. Titan, just coming around Rivazza, will finish in P8, and it'll be Sharky P9. KDM will finish in P10. Those two guys were a lap down. Fatweed, Blackballer, and J-Joe were our non-finishers. Happy Like Pies. What a mistake that is. At the final turn, picks up the extra, picks up the driver of the day, but picks up the extra warning to get tarnished with 3 seconds after 31.5 clean laps. Unbelievable from the Kick Sauber. And the city of our Mercedes team will be thankful for that mistake. What a race we had, ladies and gentlemen. Penalties galore through that one at one of our most iconic tracks. That's Tier 2 done, ladies and gentlemen. Tier 1 now. I just want to say thank you, everybody, by the way. There were 20-odd of you tuning in right then for that final few laps of this race. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it here at Moose Racing League, and we look forward to seeing you again for the finale next week, of course. Here's your race results then from Imola. The Imola Grand Prix in Italy. Freddie Rozelle takes the race win because penalties reduce Major Castleman down to P2. City of R takes P3 because of a mistake from the Kick Sauber of Happy Like Pies with a penalty at the final turn. Happy Like Pies in P4. Fake Mano P5. Sketchy Bull P6. P7 it's Gwenfro. P8 it's Mr. Titan. P9 Sharky. P10 KDM. And then our non-finishers, Fatweed, Blackballer, and J. Joe. And it's all to play for the championship next week then. Let's just move ourselves back towards the opening stream and try and figure out exactly where we might be from a championship standing. So the gap was 19 points. The gap has now been reduced. I don't actually know who got the fastest lap. It might actually be Freddie to get the fastest lap as well. So that might be a 26-point haul for the Red Bull to reduce that gap by 8 points down to about 11. So we will have a championship title charge from the Red Bull of Freddie Rozelle. Will they retain their composure next week? I don't even know where we're racing next week, but I'm pretty sure that that gives us a championship battle on the final race of the season. That's pretty much the constructors' standings done and dusted with that win by Alpine. Red Bull picking up, win from P2 from Alpine and P6. Only one Red Bull in the race tonight, so there'll be multiple points for the Alpines. That should, in theory, settle the constructors' standings here in Tier 2. But my word, what a race we just had. Penalties galore. Far too many mistakes, both early, in the middle, and, of course, we saw mistakes very, very late. Well done to everybody who took part. My name's Andy Owen. This has been MRL Tier 2. Please go and go back to our main channel and go and check out Tier number 1, the Quick Boys. They will be racing right now, and it will be Punju, of course, leading the broadcast for Tier 1. Thank you so much. No worries, Titan. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. You take care, guys. Have great fun. Go and tackle Tier 1. Go and see them. You might even see some of our 2 drivers reserving up. Who knows? Thanks very much, guys. You take care, and I'll see you again next week for the season finale.